take a brand like Coca-Cola, and I'm not, singling them out, just using them as a standard example because they're one of the world's biggest brands and greatest brands. A brand like that, in order to enter NFTs, they have to make a decision because an NFT is a product and it's not a short term product, it is a long term product. And so the discussion is okay, well, there's this new thing called NFTs. We can make them, we can sell them. They're unique digital assets that people can buy, they get to own them, and maybe it unlocks things in the future. But here's the rub, right? Coca Cola is a massive IP holder of the brand and every asset it could create. So anything with the brands is part of its IP. It is going to require the IP team or anyone on the legal side to enter the conversation. So you've got the legal team that enters the room. You've got the chief revenue officer that enters the room because the chief revenue officer probably thought, "Hey, maybe we can sell digital assets," and absolutely they could, right?
Yeah.
So now you've got the chief revenue officer, you've got the legal team. The legal team is there because of legalities, the T's and C's, but also the IP rights and what exactly are we giving up, right? Because that's the question they're going to say. Well, what exactly do they own when they buy the NFT? That needs to be qualified. Then you've got the marketing team because it becomes a brand thing, right? So it's a big deal. Coca-Cola is entering the NFT space, right? Which blockchain are they going to use? Is it an energy efficient blockchain or not? Right? So is it proof of stake? Is it proof of work? What exactly are you going to do about the negative publicity that may come from it? And that means the communications team enters the room because the communications team is going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. How many complaints are we going to get on social media? How many, bad articles I'm going to have to counter with briefing journalists because it's a big deal. So they're in the room, right? Then you've got God knows how many agencies that they use to, help them along. And then at the end of the day, everyone looks at each other like, okay, we're really going to do this? Yes, we're going to do it. Okay, who's going to create the assets? Oh, interesting. We need assets, right? What kind of assets? Well, they could be images, they could be videos, they could be animations, they could be 3D assets, it could be games. Like, what is it? And then everyone looks at the marketing team because the marketing team makes ad campaigns all day long, right? They're like, hey, you guys know how to do this stuff. And the marketing team's like, well, yeah, we could do it. We'll make some really cool, assets. But here's the thing: the marketing team is prepared to create campaigns. These are focused, production runs. Producing videos and assets is not easy. Like you do have to go through a very rigorous legal process, make sure you got usage rights and everything, like we spoke about early on the discussion. So the marketing team says, "Yeah, let's do it. We'll get the first round of assets prepared." Now, here's the thing: an NFT is forever, right? And you're selling an NFT for, let's say, $100, let's say $1,000, and then they'll sell in the secondary market for, let's say, $5,000, right? You've got to somehow meet the expectation of the user who bought it first and the user who bought it second, because it is the Coca-Cola brand that you're representing. And now you've just entered what I call the engagement Ponzi, because what the user wants is either some type of value or some type of utility. And you could think of them as the same. Utility is value, and the most basic form of utility is entertainment. Now, the marketing team of most big brands can produce assets that will really be beautiful and engaging, and probably worth quite a bit, but they can't do it forever. And certainly they're not set up to just produce every month just a run of NFTs and additional content. And so it's a very long-winded answer to your question, but this is what a lot of brands can fall victim to if they just enter without a strategy. And the solution is fairly straightforward. The solution is think long term from an architecture standpoint and realize that there is no brand, and I really mean that, there's no brand in the world that can meet the exponential expectations of its user base that's entering a Web3 category um, without the support of the community itself. It simply does not work. It does not scale. The beauty of decentralization, it's everyone's participating and it scales in that sense. A brand that enters the space needs to first and foremost create these communal areas where the community can entertain themselves. That provides a baseline value for anyone entering the engagement, and then it's manageable. Without that, you've already lost. Like, trust me, you may not know it, but you cannot keep up the engagement Ponzi. It's not sustainable. And by the way, producing assets from a marketing standpoint is not cheap. Whatever revenue you generate from sales of NFTs, you'll quickly burn in making videos, making special activations, etc. So it is vital to have the community engagement part of it, whether it's through a forum, whether it's through Discord connectivity, what have you, in order to make it sustainable.